Are you thinking about buying or selling a home or are a real estate professional and want to keep up with what's happening with Twin Cities market news, stats, and trends? Then come hang out with us for a little while. Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall, and welcome to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. For those listening on AM 950, glad to have you here. And for those of you watching online, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel here. As always, to see all that we have to offer, our free classes and publications, check us out online at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. And now new for real estate agents, we even have some free CE courses that you can register for on there. You've actually attended, right? You attended the most recent CE one? Did you find it helpful?
A couple of them. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
We got.
And I appreciated the pizza.
Yeah, we got food. Exactly. So, yeah, and you can find that, again, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. Today, we're going to deep dive into kind of what can we expect here in 2023. Where is the market likely to go based on some of the data that we're seeing?
That's what everyone's asking. As soon as they hear that you're an agent, they want to know, what do you think about the market?
Yeah. Well, and there's so much information that's out there. It's important to be able to decipher what's important and what they're actually talking about.
And what's honest data.
Yeah.
And what's not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and at the end of the day, you hear things coming out, let's say from the National Association of Realtors or from different markets, you know, Seattle or Florida, and you'll hear things about sales being way down, right? Well, that's not us. That's not the Twin Cities market. So you want to know what's happening here in the Twin Cities marketplace. And I want to really kind of talk about what are we noticing. You know, when I look back to this time last year, I was looking at data points that said, hey, we're going to probably see a way slower year because we knew there just weren't as many buyers in the marketplace based on showing data that was coming out. And a lot of buyers will jump in that December timeline, and that's why we tend to see the market move up a little bit in December. A lot of people go, oh, what do you mean? The market's always moving down. Prices bottom out in December. Well, that's when the houses went under contract that you see that they closed in December. Those actually went under contract in October, November.
I usually tell my clients if they're looking to have lower prices and less competition, like November, December is a good time to be looking, but you're not going to have options that you would in the spring. But, you know.
Well, you're weighing out, you know, choice, number of homes available.
We are lucky in the metro, though, because even though we have struggled with inventory over the past several years, it is going up right now, what you're going to talk about pretty soon here, I'm guessing.
Yes, yeah.
But even though we've struggled, there are other parts of the state that has not had options. You know, when you get smaller, more rural areas, there's a lot less options.
So looking at some of the trends we're seeing today, now we're going to deep dive in the next section into where we think some of this is going to be going, but just where do we sit today? Well, new listings into the marketplace dropped off going into Christmas week. Surprise, surprise, right? Down from 546 new listings down to 303. I would absolutely expect an uptick there in the coming weeks.
Everyone that is going to list with their clients is suggesting right now, let's wait till after the new year, and then it starts ticking up again. Yeah,
pending sales, same kind of thing. Now what's interesting here is this actually, I already know once this current week's information comes out that we're seeing an uptick already, and that's in properties going under contract. And so we were at a 635. That dropped off to 449 over that Christmas week time frame. But when we look at our market meter, we actually saw some good movement in between Christmas and New Year's. So I think a lot of buyers jumping into that market while they have a little time off. And that's not that big a surprise to see that there. Inventory, yes. Where is that going? So if we look at the whole month of December, we were at 1.8 months supply which was up a fair amount, dropped off by the end of the month down to 1.3. That was one of the bigger drop-offs that we've seen.
Not really surprised at that, though, because like I just said, listing agents are suggesting hold your house if you want to put it up for sale until after the new year.
Yeah, I think a lot of sellers holding out. And, this year,
interest
rates, I was actually going to say snow. We're
we
getting snow.
We have been pummeled.
Right? And our market is absolutely affected by weather events.
Yeah.
We know it is. We can see that, heavy weather events, the sellers out there are holding back on putting their house on the market, as well as buyers just aren't tending to go out if there's a ton of snow that just fell.
I know.
So
I try to get my buyers out in the blizzards.
There's deals.
We've had luck.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, if you look at the days on market for the last couple of weeks, average, we were at about 46, and that jumped up to like 61.
Oh, wow.
And then I think this last week was 57. So people are absolutely deal hunting right now.
Yeah.
Because, I think looking at weather, looking at rates, looking at inventory. So even though we saw that big drop off from 1.8 down to 1.3, we're still up over last year, 18.8%.
Which is kind of shocking to me when you said that earlier when we were going over numbers. I don't feel that right now, but obviously the numbers don't lie.
Well, I think it really depends on the price points that you're looking at.
Yeah.
If you are looking at that 200 to 300 range, it's tight.
That's my wheelhouse.
Right.
Mainly first-time home buyers.
As you go up to, that what was a very fast market, the 400 to 500 range earlier this year,
it's slowing down.
Tweet.
Yeah.
Things are a lot slower out there.
I have seen homes that I've done in showings when it's the 400 to 500 price range that are grossly overlisted. Have you seen that recently?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man, how are you $50,000 over right now?
I looked at one, and then we got under contract. From where they started to what we got it for, $98,000 spread.
That blows my mind.
Yep. Well, it's all about that pricing strategy that I talked about earlier, mid last year, saying, hey, you have to change your strategy from looking at the sales from a few weeks ago or so, jump back to a time that was at a similar pace, and make sure you're pricing for your showing activity.
I think we have a lot of maybe newer agents out there that have only worked in the brutally progressive and exponentially priced.
Yeah, like you could just price it anywhere and you're going to sell it. Right?
Yeah, and now I think that there's maybe a turnaround that some agents aren't reading the room.
Yeah.
That like you can't price this house what you did peak spring market right now.
And where that's so dangerous is that we know that for each day a home sits on the market, it's about 0.1% that on average, in comparison on a price per square foot basis, that it's going to sell for less than. So, it's really key to get that home priced correctly so you can maximize what you're going to get out of it.
And who wants to see it?
Because you develop that issue of what's wrong with it. Why is this house on the market so long? What's wrong with it? Even though at the end of the day, it was just the price.
It's not a real stigma, but it is real.
We got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll deep dive again into where we think the market is going. Again, check us out, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. We'll be right back. Our local sponsors are BRIX Real Estate, Network Title, Eric Bloomstrand and Chad Preeby with Bell Bank Mortgage, Structure Tech Home Inspections, James Tufson with Country Financial, along with Cregan's Construction and Grey Duck Staging and Design.
Hi, I'm Ruben with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Everyone knows you should have a home inspection before you buy a home, but we've heard of home buyers being encouraged to skip the home inspection in this crazy market to make their purchase offer more attractive. Now they're facing tens of thousands of dollars in unexpected repairs. I'm telling you now, don't skip the home inspection. Here at Structure Tech, we can get your home inspected quickly, and we offer a full line of services. Visit us online at structuretech.com to learn more.
Don't fall for the billboards or the clickbait. There is no such thing as today's rate. Mortgages and mortgage rates are individual to you. Chad Preby and Eric Bloomstrand with Bell Bank Mortgage are here to show you the formula to get your best rate. Once you know this formula, you can mortgage shop with confidence. Find us online at chadpreby.com. That is chadpreby.com. NMLS 1462493, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kirk Duckwall with BRIX Real Estate and the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest financial transactions people make. Before you make your next move, download our free Smart Home Buyer or Smart Seller guides to give you the edge in our real estate market. From deal hunting to knowing the right repairs for maximizing value, these free guides have it all. Check them out and more at BRIXTwinCities.com under publications. Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show. Again, make sure you check us out online if you haven't at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. That's where you can find our awesome publications, the Smart Home Buyer Guide.
Is that a newer print?
That's actually my custom cover for like my clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then our Smart Seller Guide as well. And we also have the new BRIX report. This is last year's, but the new BRIX report is coming out. People are like, well, what's the BRIX report? Hey, you want to know what's happening right around your area with real estate trends? Download this guide.
And fun articles.
Yep. Awesome articles.
Involving the metro and our market here. And
Yep. So, yeah, great resource. Again, that's going to be coming out soon. Still, it's last year's that's up there today, but in a few weeks, we'll have the new version up. So, yeah, all free publications there at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. You can also check out our classes that we offer for buyers and sellers, as well as real estate agents. All those classes are free. Okay, so today we're talking market projections, where we think things are going.
getting out the crystal ball, crunching the numbers.
Well, and that's actually what I'm looking at, right? Am I crystal ball a little bit, but really looking at data points. Where are the data points pointing?
I know that you were extremely trendy, Kirk, in your data points.
So a couple things I wanted to cover last segment, just didn't get to, was what we've seen with interest rates, right? Because I know that's really important out there. We'll get into that a bit more here shortly, but wanted to talk about the market meter, right? I was saying for the last about 3 or 4 weeks, for anybody who watches the Mastermind the Market, again, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com, short little videos I put on there every week about exactly where our market is. You can see these data points that I'm looking at. Extremely helpful.
Yep. Keep yourself updated.
Yeah, and I think we were working on something for the market meter, and people, well, what's this market meter? Well, it's how a buyer or seller will experience the market as far as the velocity they'll see, more than likely, right? So what are we seeing out there in the marketplace? So this is not, the number of homes that have sold is down. No, like as a seller, you want to know, how am I going to experience the market if I put my home on there? Or as a buyer, what am I going to experience? Is it going to be crazy busy, multiple offers on everything? Or am I going to have some breathing room? That's the idea behind the market meter. So that actually jumped up over this last week, went from like a 3.62, I think it was, up to a 4.14. That means it went from a buyer's market back into a stable market range.
Neutral.
Yep. And so we're expecting, though, that if this picks up at the pace we normally see and the trends that we're starting to see, that we're going to be back in a seller's market by the end of the month.
I'm not surprised by that. The demand that there is out there for first-time home buyers and the amount of people that are just honestly sick of renting. They've rented a decade longer than their parents had to. You know what I mean? They're hungry to get into their own spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to talk about some expectation setting that can be really helpful about that. But kind of circling back. Okay, so we know the market meter is on its way up. So people that were looking for the bottom of the market, that's past us now. We are now for buyers.
It's been past us.
Yeah.
For like a week.
So
Right?
now, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? And so we're seeing that inventory dropping, which then supply and demand, right? Now, and if you, what really surprised me was the number of buyers in the market in that Christmas to New Year's time frame. It was like about 1,250-ish showings that had happened in the areas that I was looking at in comparison to last year's 1,300 and something. Keep in mind how crazy last year was.
Last year, December was the busiest December of my career. Usually, I personally have a lull in December, and I know a lot of agents
Yep.
do also, and your phone kind of calms a little bit. That was not the case last year. Yeah.
So we're seeing that trajectory kind of starting to line itself up a little bit more with like last year's number of showings.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to follow that. Okay, so one thing I want to dispel real quick is the market. You'll hear this thing, 30% down. Our market is 30% down. That is not home prices.
No.
Home prices are not down by 30%. Okay, they are up. They are
Yeah.
up by 4.1% when we compare month over month. Do you know what the average appreciation in the Twin Cities is?
I haven't ran the numbers for months now, but I would guess was
Well-
it like sit around 6 or 7%.
Well, so I'm talking historically, dating
Historically,
way back.
it's supposed to be like 3.
Yeah. So you'll
Yeah.
see it'll range 3-4%. It was 4.1%
Okay.
is what we experienced. So our appreciation, which that's what it's doing. We're still up over last year.
Yep.
So no, our market is not crashing. No,
No.
it did not crash. It did exactly what it normally does.
Seasonal.
The down is that total number of homes that have sold. And if we look at like the inventory that's coming out, it's starting to make some ground there. But it's total number of homes that have sold over the last year. Just not as many buyers were buying, and not as many homes obviously on the market were selling.
Yeah.
It does not mean that home prices dropped by 30%. The seasonal adjustment was around 7.5%,
Okay. Yeah.
which again, normal.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, that's more than normal. That's a faster appreciation than our historical trends, correct?
Well, no, the 4.1 was the appreciation. The drop in prices from summer to winter was 7.5,
Oh,
which
got
is
it.
right
Excuse me.
in the middle there. So.
And honestly, though, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Like I said, I have been seeing homes priced ahead of the market like we do in the spring
Yeah.
in the dead of winter. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of price drops because those agents listed those homes too high for our current market seasonally.
That is an area where we're definitely seeing, what I would say lack of experience in the
Yeah.
marketplace is we are seeing one of the biggest sale price to list price differentials that we've seen in a long time, right? Because they're just mispricing the houses.
Agents
and
are not reading the room.
Yeah, not reading the room. Now, there is something to be said about strategy. Like, hey, if you know the market's going to come around to you, but that's not usually
I
$100,000
think that's
swing
a
or
very
$50,000.
risky strategy.
So yeah, as I say, list price can be a strategy or a mistake. Which one do you want it to be, right? As a seller, that's why I think it's just so important to make sure you're talking about what's the showing pace that's happening in your area. What if you're already on the market? What's the showings that you're experiencing in comparison to that showing pace?
Yeah.
What's happening for the comparables around you? What are they seeing? Okay, so inventory. We know like over last year is up a little bit, but still kind of short. I would expect that we'll see that starting to go up as
Yep.
we get into February.
I think it's only up from here right now for inventory for the moment, right?
Well,
Coming into our spring
into
market.
January, we tend to lose off a little bit more comes out of the market, and then it jumps.
After the Super Bowl.
Yep, exactly. All right, I want to make sure we hit on this one, and this is timing the market. So I want to start off with timing the market for sellers, and then we can get into timing the market for buyers. But timing the market right now, I think for sellers, it's really important to understand. We're talking about the lowest inventory being somewhere in that January time frame. Supply and demand, right? You don't want to be on the market when it's the highest because that's the most supply buyers have to choose from, which means you're not going to really maximize on price. In the Twin Cities area, homes that receive the highest percentage of list price or the highest dollar amount, price per square foot, all of that is right around the March 15th timeline. If you have a really pretty garden and you're like, well, I want to wait until you can see my garden or see my yard, we know that if you wait until it's green outside, you are going to miss out on some green, right?
Yeah.
You need
Take
to
those pictures
get
in the spring.
Right.
Last year.
Get out there early into the marketplace while inventory is still low. That's how you're going to maximize your price. If you think to yourself, well, I bought my home in the spring. Well, did you actually put it under contract in the spring? Or did you put it under...
Spring is a broad term we use here.
Right. So
Minnesota spring for our market's a little bit earlier than you'd anticipate.
Right. I mean, hop over to our website, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. You can see the trends of when the market really starts moving, and it is not in April or May. April and May is when it's starting, like by May, it's maybe even starting to move back down. So you want to make sure you're really paying attention to when you can actually maximize the price. You need to be having those conversations with your real estate agent today to start getting ready for that February, March timeline to get that highest sale price.
Yeah, talk to your agent ahead of time, like even 6 months, get a plan going.
Yep. I know I do a recommended preparations list. Actually, somebody, a listener of the show, has reached out and working in the process right now, getting the place ready to maximize that price, hit that timing just right. Okay, so again, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive into maybe a little bit of that first home thing if we can, and maybe interest rates. Check us out online, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com for all past shows as well as our great free publications. We'll be right back.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
My name is James Tobson with Country Financial. Anyone can sell you insurance. However, is it going to be the insurance you need? When life pops up with its surprises, you want the right coverage. When it comes time to find or renew your policy, give me a call. I would love to review your existing policy and show you what I can do for you. You can email me at james.tobson@countryfinancial.com or give me a call at 651-365-3408.
Hi, I'm Becca, owner of Grey Duck Staging. With today's home buyers beginning their journey exclusively online, the look and feel of your home matters more than ever. Whether it's a simple in-home consultation, a refresh using your current furniture, or a whole home staging, our goal is always the same: showing your home in the best light and helping you achieve the highest sales price possible. To learn more, visit us at greyduckstaging.com or check us out on Instagram at greyduckstaging.
Welcome back to the Twin Cities Real Estate Show, talking about market trajectory, projections, all of that here of what we expect in 2023. I want to touch on this one, though, for home buyers out there, right? Talking about timing is important, but at the end of the day, I always say you want to buy that first home when you find the right first home. And there's, waiting can kind of be dangerous.
It can be costly.
Yeah.
When we're in a expedient market like we had been, and I anticipate the spring being the same, honestly, that it's going to continue to kind of grow. You want to get in when you can, like if you're not living paycheck to paycheck, if you're stable earnings and able to manage your money, and if you are able to maybe even get into programs Like, get in your first home. Get out of renting.
Yeah, absolutely. Because,
Get out.
I mean, again, home prices are up year over year. Great video put out. You can find it over at House Geeks on YouTube, but it's called The Cost of Savings, right? And people get this idea that if I can save and save and save, it's going to put me in a better spot. And
If you're living in a basement for free at
Yeah.
your parents' house, that is possible.
right, yeah.
If you're renting, it's not possible to save up the amount of money year over end that we're seeing happen for the growth,
Yeah.
for what the cost is.
2018 to 2022, a buyer who was in the first-time buyer market would have had to save $87,000 just to buy the same house.
Same house. I have a client that still has not bought, and I've been working with her for years, and I did the math, and it was like $100,000 that she has spent in rent.
Yeah.
When she could have bought years ago with me.
And had that equity in place. Yeah. We just think about it this way. If you go out and you were buying your first car, you didn't look around and be like, you know what? I'm not finding the Ferrari I was looking for, so I'm going to go to Enterprise and rent.
Get in a Gremlin, and then when you can make that next step up, rent that Gremlin to someone else and get into the next house.
All right.
that's
I know a lot of
better for you.
people want to know where rates are going to probably go. I can give this much advice is based on my rate trajectory. It looks like they'll be going down as we go into the springtime market. So I
hope
think
so.
it'll help.
Be ready to refinance in the future if that's not the case.
Yeah.
Get
So-
out of rent.
Exactly. This is a topic that can just go on and on.
Yeah.
I want to thank you again, Jilly, for coming in.
Thank you so much, Kirk.
And yeah, TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. All sorts of great resources on there, including our free smart home buyer and smart seller guides. Great tips in there, and the BRIX report as well. Yeah, like and subscribe. We'll be back again next week. People always ask realtors, what is your commission? But what they should be asking is, what is your rate of return? Commissions only vary by a couple of percent from agent to agent. However, the price per square foot you get just based on their experience and the quality of marketing they use can vary by 10% or more. At BRIX Real Estate, our agents use the right marketing and have the experience to get you top dollar for your house. See what we can do for you at BRIXTwinCities.com.
Not every title company is the same. There are many people involved with each real estate transaction, and all of them need to be in the loop or a closing may get delayed. This is why the people at Network Title strive to provide swift scheduling and communication between the buyers, sellers, agents, and lenders. We know moving can be stressful, however, your closing does not need to be. Check us out online at network-title.com.
Don't forget to check us out online anytime at TwinCitiesRealEstateShow.com. There you can find all of our past shows, our weekly market updates, along with the latest and greatest searching and researching tools, and our free publications to include the Smart Home Buyer Guide and the Smart Seller Guide, along with the BRIX Report. All of these free for you. If you have any real estate questions, please feel free to give us a call, 651-303-0019. Again, 651-303-0019. Happy to help answer any of your real estate questions or assist with your real estate needs.